Hello boys and girls, how you guys are doing? I hope that everyone is doing well and good. So guys, कैसे हो? एक मिनट रुक जाओ guys. और बताओ guys क्या ले? हो गया. So guys और बताओ क्या ले? आज हम खेलने वाले हैं Sherlock Holmes. क्राइम एंड क्या ये पनिशमेंट्स? यस, क्राइम्स एंड पनिशमेंट्स. मैं देखा थोड़ा चिल विल कर लिया जाए नहीं. कि हसीन एक दीवाना था. नाइट बोट दिया. एक मिनट रुक जाओ. पंद्रह मिनट 15 मिनट. भाई पिन मैसेज का ऑप्शन आया गाइस. So guys, I am pinning one message. See pin. अरे नहीं. नहीं रे नहीं. ये तो लुल हो गया मेरे साथ. अब हम करने वाले हैं इस मैसेज को पिन। दैट्स इट गाइस। अब हम खेलने वाले हैं गेम ऐसी की तैसी, क्लाउड सिंकिंग। ठीक है, जो भी होना हो जाओ, हमें नहीं पड़ता कोई फर्क। ला 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 ला। मैं देखा कि क्या आ गया भाई। भाई एकदम मेंढक जैसी आवाज, मेंढक जैसी क्या, मेंढक की आवाज ही। ओ भाई 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 भाई, काफी लाउड वॉल्यूम है ना। भाई 50 में इतना लोग। New game guys, easy. In the memory of Ukrainian heavily 100. Okay. Redgear presents crimes and punishments. मेरे को अभी भी थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही लग रहा है। The fate of Black Widow. Direction space I can indicate that you have is an important dialogue. You can always check the dialogue log. Direction space indicates that you have found facts. Okay, I got it. I got it. Got it. ये अब मेरा नाइट बोट काम कर रहा है भाई। ये सबसे पहले देख रहे हो नाइट बोट को, तुम देख कहाँ है। सबसे पहले डोनेशन के लिए मैसेज भेजा है भाई, कोई देखना तो आ जाए पहले।
Holmes.
क्या करूँ मैं?
Holmes, will you stop that? You are utterly mad.
ये क्या जवाब चोदिया नहीं?
Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate. Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious.
It's serious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there.
I'll
have to
go
through the
try
yard
out first. The
many men
madman's
struck
truck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall
Chat
go
go.
alone then.
Tap to open the case book and check your current progress in the investigation, tasks, evidence, etc. Investigate the murder of Peter Carey. Investigate the crime scene at Woodman's Lee. Select a suit to wear using your personal wardrobe and join the search at Leslie. I suck, ah.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
Say hello.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
बताऊं तेरे को अलमारी तो जैसे हो नहीं जा रही वैसा क्या hey hello, no options, nothing. What to do?
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
अच्छा
This is where I keep my post. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
Yeah. Nice. Hey, bhai sahab. ये का देख लियो.
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
कैसे चूती है मेरी बॉड, मेरी अलमारी खुले तब ना, ऐसे चला जाऊं? भाई यार क्या गजब चूतिया आप है, बताओ। क्या
I cannot leave yet. I am not finished here.
वो तो चूतिया करना भाई, हद हो गई। क्या करना क्या चाहते हो? अच्छा हेलो भाई, क्या वक्त चो दिए भाई। भाई हेलो, इस टेलीस्कोप में यही दिखेगी क्या यार? क्या वक्त छू दिए।
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, born in the radius of 50 years old, he achieved great success. They retired in 1894, eventually moving to Woodman's Lee. ठीक है, केस स्टडी हो गया भाई हमारा। Inspect the crime scene at Woodlands. Select a suite to view using your personal wardrobe and join lateral Woodlands Lee. भाई तो पर्सनल वार्डरोब का है, मेरे को ये तो बता दो तुम। भाई क्या चुदा आप है भाई।
A map of London and the I cannot leave yet. I am not finished here.
वह तो चूतिया करना जो करना है तेरे को। भाई बताओ क्या वक्त चूत गया मैं भाई।
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
भाई मैं थक गया भाई, 2 मिनट में झिला दिया भाई इन्होंने मेरे को। भाई कसम से ये गेम है कि चुदाप है। भाई मेरे को जला दो भाई, जला दो भाई प्लीज।
This is where I keep my archive.
अच्छा ऐसा इधर भी रूम है, इसकी माँ का भरोसा कॉलगेट भाई। हट भैंस की। B2 मेकअप टेबल। ब्लैक सूट, ब्राउन सूट, ग्रीन सूट, ग्रे सूट, लाइट सूट, branded outfit, farmer outfit, bandit, light suit, ठीक है, P2. Zero. ग्लासेस वगैरह लॉक्ड है अभी, फेशियल हेयर वगैरह भी लॉक्ड है अभी. चलो गाइस, I am done with this fucking things. भाई दिमाग का भरोसा हो गया था भाई मेरा.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
Nice. Awesome.
It seems that the garden was well maintained. It seems that the garden was well
अरे
maintained.
भाई ये वाली बकचोदी नहीं पसंद मेरे को भाई. इसमें कुछ ढूंढना करना लगता है.
When will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Anything unusual that night?
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything
Unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Even before the murder?
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at
Around
around
7
7
o'clock.
o'clock,
I noticed that the
I noticed the
cabin door
cabin
was
door
open.
was open. But I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
Birdhouse. Rested it. Character portrait completed.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes.
Oh my
Oh my goodness,
goodness,
how do you
how
know
do you know
about
about that?
Never mind. Thank you, madam.
चलो हो गया गाइस.
Thank you, madam.
अच्छा घर तो उधर है. भाई हेलो. इन्वेस्टिगेट करना है तो भाई जगह तो खुली होनी चाहिए. हेलो. Inspect the crime scene at Woodmansley. Investigate the murder of the Peter Carey. मुझे हटो वहाँ चला गया. बताओ.
It seems that the guard...
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
ऐसा है क्या?
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
इससे क्या होता है? Concentrate on finding details that other implied to.
These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
The body is not here. Oh, it's here.
What a terrible way to die. This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book, a box or a small chest, perhaps. The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches. Dundee. Dundee.
डंडी का ठीक है, डंडी के अलावा और कुछ है?
Hammerfest. It's a whaling map. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting. Peter Carey's boots.
They look to be size 8. अच्छे से navigate करेंगे भाई.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded. The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense. Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon. This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer.
Rotate the object into examine thoroughly and cover the ठीक है. चैन कुछ लिखा हुआ है इस पे. कत्ते डिटेक्टिव बन के रहूँगा मैं, माँ का भरोसा.
This wooden handle is plain and solid. This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
ऐसा क्या?
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook. JHN are probably the initials of the owner
left
of
click
this
हो गया
notebook.
guys. कत्ते डिटेक्टिव. हो गया, ये हो गया, हो गया. यार इस नोटबुक को ये ले क्यों नहीं रहा? ठीक है, कहाँ पे आ रहा है ये?
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the
And now
notebook was
not
not
lying on the
lying on the
floor
floor
to the
prior to the
crime,
crime, but it was dropped into the
after
pool
the
of
death
blood
of
after
Peter
the death
Carey.
of Peter Carey. These abbreviations mean something, but what?
ऐसा है.
The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work. This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
क्या बकचोदी क्या है ये चल क्या रहा है मेरे को ये समझाओ तुम पहले स्मोकिंग पाइप है ये
Yes, this is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors. Someone drank from this glass recently. Rum, a sailor's drink. It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
ये भी ठीक है रह गया
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to
अबे
1884. Peter Carey was her captain. The murder weapon was probably taken from this rack.
क्या है बी से क्या होगा अब find a pair of related pin the hole you haven't made any deductions yet can be used in the investigation and will be marked with this specific Judith is from sanctuary somewhere near the extreme of Scotland where the ticked bird can be found. She is religious and vengeance influenced Catholic. ये भी ठीक है अब हो गया ना मेरी तरफ से तो हो ही गया सब.
Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes?
तेरी माँ की.
Have you finished inspecting the crime scene? Have you finished inspecting the crime scene?
These boots don't match the footprints. These footprints appear to be quite large.
ऐसा है क्या? Have you again investigate the murder of Peter Carey?
Have you finished inspecting the crime scene? Mr. Holmes?
Investigate the murder of Peter Carey. वही तो किया मैं अभी. हो तो गया. 1 मिनट क्या कंप्लीट हुआ? इंस्पेक्ट द क्राइम सीन एट वुडलैंड्स. अच्छा ये कंप्लीट हो गया. ठीक है.
Mr. Holmes?
भाई कैसे चूक गया भाई. So Holmes.
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be. But he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
Nvidia?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes. Life with Peter was never easy.
ये दूसरी बार
Still
बोल
my
रही है.
husband.
He was
Sorry.
different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from
दस
Plymouth?
रहे.
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Never mind. Thank you, madam.
यार ये तो मैं कर ही लिया था.
This place is an object was taken from. These footprints appear to be quite large.
I received the refund, guys. There we go. Find a pair of related and they will form a detection. Red color signifies an unachievable blue combination. Break-in attempts, no gardener, notebook. In the wall was impaled to the wall with a harpoon through the chest like a butterfly. देखो सबसे पहला तो है no gardener, missing tin box. No gardener हो गया. Missing tin box. मैं उसके रूम में घुसा. ठीक है. देखो क्या है. सबसे पहले नो गार्डनर. Says that husband to care of the garden. भाई क्या उच्च दिए करना क्या है ये तो ज्यादा बता दो तुम. Draw a clear picture of the अबे एक क्लू गायब हो गया मेरा. नहीं नो गार्डनर. Pin to the wall. करना क्या है ये? An ambush must be made tonight to see if the break it attempt will be repeated. Sorry. Bhai.
Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
Mysterious intruder might return tonight to finish what he has planned. ये भी ठीक है भाई. अब देखते हैं क्या
Well,
होता
Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky.
And why is that?
Because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oh, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your
Ready your
pistols.
pistols, we have a long
have
night
a
ahead
long
us.
night ahead of us.
Mr. Holmes?
तेरी माँ का भरोसा.
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window.
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
बताओ. Guys, 1 minute रुकना, 1 minute आया. Yep, now we will continue it. कतई अंधेरा भाई.
Shh. Did you hear that? There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there.
भाई कतई
Mr.
अंधेरा
Holmes,
अंधेरा हो रखा है.
come and see what we've caught in our net.
कतई अंधेरा अंधेरा भाई कतई.
All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you
Roger
doing in his
James
cabin?
his-
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't.
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't.
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't. I'm not. It's a terrible mistake.
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector. But please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
ये भी ठीक है भाई. Investigate the murder of Peter Carey. अभी वो बाकी है भाई. अभी स्कॉटलैंड यार्ड आ गया भाई. Investigate, interrogate suspect Scotland Yard John Hopley Nadigan. Examine belongings of Am I going right?
Locked.
ये भी ठीक है। Elaborate buttons.
Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know... I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't.
If
I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan. The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Please, let me go. I'm innocent. What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
से क्या हो रहा है? Peter Carey was armed with his knife. He did not dare. Were made in order to recover the notebook that had been lying in a pool of victims. Let this proves the guilt of the person who made these attempts. We need to find out whether an unskilled and untrained man could use a harpoon well to kill by fully piercing a body.
I need to stage a reconstruction. I'm sure that Watson would be happy to oblige.
Examine belongings. Interrupt. Watson will be glad to help with preparations. Harpoon tracks bag.
Mr. Holmes?
ये ऐसे ही बोलते हैं पुलिस वाले. अच्छा वहाँ गहरा आ गया.
A spot of whaling, Watson. Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No. But we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible. But if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see
Gorilla.
what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
No.
Monkey or gorilla?
Goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
यही दिखती है क्या हमेशा? कुछ नया नहीं दिखता मेरे टेलीस्कोप से. अपन तो वाटसन.
I need to take a harpoon with me. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
तलवार तो है. हापुन हापुन.
I need to take a harpoon with me.
बताओ कहाँ मिलेगा वो?
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
कुत्ता कहाँ से आ गया?
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire. My analysis table. It is useful for my work. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
मैं वहाँ जाता हूँ, वहाँ से वो लेता हूँ, फिर वापस जाऊँगा.
That should do it. Now I am ready for the experiment.
बताओ, इतना सब झंझट है भाई.
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise, yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test. The harpoon has struck the body, but with insufficient strength to pierce it straight through. Holmes, you should try to aim better and throw as hard as you can.
हो गया भाई.
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
Very well, but please hurry.
Of course.
मेरे को जाना कहाँ था उसे? Examine belongings and direct suspect or examine belongings of John Hopper in the evidence room at Scotland Yard. उसकी belongings भी check करनी है. वो तो मैंने देखी ही नहीं थी. Steam पे ये गेम Infinite हाँ है Steam पे है but मैंने फ्री में क्लेम की थी. Where's the fucking investigation?
Mr. Holmes?
ये चूती ऐसे ही बोलते हैं सबको.
These are the suspect's belongings. The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor. These abbreviations mean
something, but what?
But
We don't
what?
know. The scene पे
Pocket knife.
पैसों में
It was
शायद.
used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin. A handkerchief with the initials JHN.
देखिए ring. From RDFC.
From R. Dawson.
To my friend and partner. 1883.
To my friend and
And
partner.
partner.
1883. Dawson. I've seen this name before.
Perhaps my
archive holds the answer.
archive holds the answer. Seems not be a usual thief. What is his role in all of that? ये बात कर लेते हैं.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
Choose and confronts the statement of character in order to continue the investigation.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly
in a
any
position to
position
receive such an item from a partner.
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
अबे नहीं. Select the correct answer. Okay.
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
The ring is mine. तो उसने क्या? Profile of the victim, father's jacket, well-kept garden, ring, tobacco pouch. नहीं रे.
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
अरे बेटा, तुम जब पैदा नहीं हुए थे तब हम डिटेक्टिव बन गए थे बेटा. Hello bro, hello sir. How are you doing, sir? Detective खेल रहा हूँ आज. Strength requirement. Missing tin box. It requires much greater than the regular average man. A degree of skill would have most likely to be necessary. Two-man operation might achieve the same result. There is a remote possibility that running skill in real man would manage to be better. अरे नहीं, hello. यहाँ से अब स्टोरी चेंज होगी, पता है? कि फीट ऑफ स्ट्रेंथ या तो या फिर ये, लेकिन मेरे को लग रहा है कि वो ऑब्वियसली होगा. लाइक एक ऐसा आदमी होगा जो ऑब्वियसली भाई हमारे मतलब ऐसा आदमी होगा जिसका एक्सपीरियंस हुआ कुछ। तेरी माँ की
Good
पिलाऊं तेरे को
gracious,
चाय।
you caught someone. At least now you have a suspect.
चटक तेरी। ये फिर वही दिखेगी, वही आंटी दिखेगी, ये मोटी सी। और डिटेक्टिव क्या रिपोर्ट है? कुछ नहीं।
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
अरे तेरी माँ की भाई, तेरे को किसी का वो देखना है ना। सर्च फॉर डॉसन 1883। Bring the engraving a heavy gold ring with a rare Dawson to my friend.
That is not the one I need. That is not the one I.
Art and architecture ni economic science, technology, history. Napoleon Roman.
That is not.
Medicine. A gold ring with inspiration from art Dawson to my friend and partner. Botany. Botany ni medicine, history, technology, addition, Nicola the typewriter.
That is not the.
इधर कौन सी चीज? इधर को हेलो। ये भी ठीक है भाई।
Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder.
चश्मे कहाँ हैं? किसके चश्मे? मेरा चश्मा। मेरा चश्मा तो तेरा। Dawson and Nelligan bankrupt. Dawson and Nelligan investment fund bankrupt. Nelligan missing. Dawson Nelligan investment fund, regional banking institution based on that, has declared bankrupt as a result of the heavy losses. Loan profit accordingly been assigned for liquidation. It was the 23rd largest bank in the British and was the second largest one recorded. And liquidation of the company is a pure catastrophe for many Cornwall families. One Nelligan, one of the bankers, has since mysteriously disappeared. He was last seen aboard his yacht preparing for the trip to Norway. Nelligan is found bought by the police and the creditors.
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
Shallow documents limit. Seems not be usual thief. What's the role in all that?
Good gracious, you caught someone.
तेरी माँ का भरोसा।
At least now you have a suspect.
बैठा बैठा खा रहा है यहाँ पे।
A map.
देखते हैं, पूछते हैं उस लौंडे से क्या चल रहा है। इतने क्लूज नहीं है ना मेरे पास।
These are the suspect's belongings. I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan,
The West
the
Country
West
Bank.
Country bankers.
Bankers,
Yes. Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired, I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress.
ठीक है भाई.
Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both
बहुत
at
अलग
sea
scene
in
आ
Norway.
रहा है.
There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
Examine the ship logs. Ship logs के लिए मेरे को जाना है अंदर. और भाई उसमें कौन जीतेगा? उसमें किसमें कौन जीतेगा? अच्छा यूएस में कौन जीतेगा? मेरे को तो भाई मेरे हिसाब से तो ट्रम्प जीतना चाहिए. देखो ये ट्रम्प है तो इंडिया का फ़ायदा है. वो आ गए तो भाई वो बत्ती लगा देंगे. वो तो कह रहे हैं ना, वो दूसरी वाली जो अपोजिशन पार्टी है ना ट्रम्प की.
1883. That's the one I need. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
Second mid James Hams and Rahapna and Steve Janya could reach us.
Log notes for June. Nothing unusual. Log notes for July. Nothing special. Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away. Log notes. Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR.
Don't be
a torn
from
piece from a
bond certificate. I've seen
I have
this.
seen this abbreviation somewhere.
ट्रम्प और
very recently.
बाइडन.
There are
हाँ तो
three
वो
ways
बाइडन
of
वाला जो है ना वो आ
discovering
गए ना
what
भाई. वो
happened
कहते
in
हैं
August of
कि जो
1883
कश्मीर में
aboard
370
the
वगैरह
Sea
लगा है वो
Unicorn.
गलत है. नॉर्मल
The first
कश्मीर
two
का
of
अलग ही
these
रहना
will
चाहिए था. और
require
वो आ गए तो
speaking
भाई वो फिर
with a
सपोर्ट
dead
करेंगे
man.
भाई पाकिस्तान
The
को. और ये
last
बकचोदी होगी.
would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
तो वही है. मेरे को नहीं लगता. फाइंड द क्रू ऑफ द सी यूनिकॉर्न. अब एक नई चीज़ आ गई. जैसे विगिंस माइट हेल्प टू फाइंड द क्रू ऑफ विगिंस. ही शुड बी समवेयर एट बेकर्स स्ट्रीट.
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they are still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him.
यार इसमें बात ज़्यादा हो रही है. अरे यार थोड़ा क्या है, काइंड ऑफ स्टोरी मोड है ना.
Watson, I need Wiggins. Is he anywhere nearby?
He's right across the street. You can give him a sign from the window.
यहाँ पे काम आएगा क्या मेरे को कुछ? विंडो से क्या साइन दूँ लो? अच्छा आगे ऑप्शन.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins,
ये कौन
I
मोटी है
need you
पता
to
नहीं भाई,
track
वो हमें
down
वहीं खड़े
certain
रहते.
people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, because his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy.
Yeah.
Just got to look where the rum and the red lights are.
Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'll be there shortly.
Everybody can find the crew of Seacons, meet inspector. ये बढ़िया है. वो मोटी हमेशा वहीं खड़ी रहती है उसी खिड़की पे. छू दिया मोड़ी.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to see you.
As always. What happened?
We have a new suspect, Liam Hurtley. I'm thinking that this case will be resolved very quickly now.
Interesting. Pray tell.
Well, the constable that I left at Woodman's Lee noticed a suspicious individual prowling around during the night.
Do you have him here?
Yes. He refuses to speak with us.
But we'll make him talk.
Let us hope so.
Oh yes, and one more thing. The constable told me that at the time of his arrest, the fellow was writing a letter.
Do you have it?
Of course. It's in the evidence room. At your disposal. Admit that for once, Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard is a step ahead of you, eh?
Breathtaking.
चटक. छू दिए. Baap, Holmes is your father, bro.
These are the suspect's belongings. Liam Hurtley's old boots. They're a size 9.5. The stains are fresh. They can be removed with the proper chemicals. A pen. Nothing unusual about it. These are the suspect's belongings. Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I would like to ask you a few
Sherlock
questions.
Holmes.
I've already told the police that I've nothing to say. And you're not even part of the police.
Precisely. And considering your situation, it might be
might
wise
advise
to speak with someone who
who's-
is, shall we say, rather more neutral.
गोली
You
कब
are a
चलेगी?
suspect in a
गोली नहीं
murder
चलेगी.
case.
इसमें सिर्फ हम
I
डिटेक्टिव
know.
है बस.
Inspector Lestrade told me. It's ridiculous.
Could you at least tell me who you are and exactly what happened that you should be
इसमें हम
brought
डिटेक्टिव
here?
है बस.
My name
Investigate
is Liam
करना है,
Hurtley.
इधर से उधर जाना
That
है
I can
बस.
tell you. But you're not getting any more than that.
Well, we shall see.
अभी देखना भाई कि इन्वेस्टिगेशन स्किल्स देखना अब आप.
That's all for now.
Investigate the murder. John Nottingham seemed to be unusual. Emily is the tough one. What is he trying to hide?
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
I'm not saying another word.
ठीक है. Bakers shoot चलते हैं friends. देखो हो सकता है ये थोड़ा बोरिंग लगे क्योंकि मैं सिर्फ खेल रहा हूँ, आप लोग सिर्फ देख रहे हो, मतलब तो भाई बोरिंग होगा ऑब्वियसली. मैं खेल रहा हूँ, मैं चीज़ें कर रहा हूँ, मेरे लिए नहीं होगा. अरे मोटी आई भाई, ये टेलीस्कोप हिलता नहीं है क्या मेरा? छूती आ गया.
A new suspect, but this one refuses to talk. This case is more interesting than I first imagined.
करना क्या? 1 मिनट. Ask cab. What is trying to head? Seems investigate the murder of. भाई ये 4 ही ग्लू है अभी तो.
I need to prepare a chemical agent that is capable of removing fresh ink. For this purpose, the chemicals from the flasks should be combined in a certain order to perform a chain reaction. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
क्या है? हेलो लूफ. इन सबको इसमें डालना है. ब्लू, फिर क्वेश्चन मार्क, फिर ऑरेंज. ठीक है. जड़ी बूटी मोटी लेने को बोल रही है शायद. देखो ये है ट्रांसपेरेंट वाला, ये है ब्लू इसमें डालो. ब्लू है, ग्रीन है.
I need to prepare a chemical agent that is capable of removing fresh ink. For this purpose,
ऑरेंज सबसे लास्ट में. ठीक है. और ऑरेंज आना चाहिए उसके बाद में. तब कुछ भी कर रहा हूँ मैं तो, या फिर स्किप कर दूंगा, कोई मेरे बाप का कुछ जा थोड़ी रहा है।
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
Skip XD. Liam Hartley's letter content. I did as you asked and hit them well, but I beg you to reconsider. I saw and remember our works. I have done nothing dishonorable for which you dash. ये भी ठीक है भाई। अब क्या क्या टास्क है मेरे?
A new suspect, but this one refuses to talk. This case is more interesting than I first imagined.
देखा नहीं, यहाँ जाना है मेरे, उससे बात करूँगा मैं। एक मिनट रुको, एक मिनट। हाँ भाई रुक गए, ये भी ठीक है। चलो मेरे को एक ट्रांजैक्शन करना था, वो कर दिया मैंने। अब जाता हूँ, देखो उस समय बोल रहा था मैं कुछ नहीं कहने वाला।
Please escort this suspect
for
for
interrogation.
interrogation.
Love band the foodie.
So tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what did you hide?
Hide? What are you talking about?
Well kept garden, Hartley's letter, gardener.
I did as you asked and hid them well. Should I continue?
My letter? But the ink? That's impossible.
A touch of chemistry, nothing special.
Well, you're a smart one, but it's nothing. If you want to know, I was referring to my tools.
It was
It's to do with my work, see?
I will
अभी
check
इसमें एक
that,
मर्डर
sir.
नहीं हुआ है या फिर ज्यादा? एक मर्डर ही हुआ है।
That's all for now.
किस चीज का इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो रहा है? मर्डर हुआ है, मर्डर हुआ है, मर्डर।
I'm not saying another word.
These are the suspect's belongings. These are the suspect's belongings. I wonder if these are connected.
क्या है 85 को जैसा कर गया ना ये CPR.
Now we have the proof that Nelligan's papers were indeed here. It seems that they have vanished, however.
देखा दिमाग. Missing papers, missing tin. Valuable bond certificate were kept inside this stolen tin box. Hi. John Nelligan could have been caught stealing the bond certificates. This might have been a motive for him to murder Peter Carley. John Nelligan could have been caught stealing the bond certificate. ऐसा है. तो ऐसा है क्या?
I'm not saying another.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Interrogation. Epic Stop Game free चल रही है कुछ horror. हाँ है वो मेरे पास.
Tell
है
me,
मेरे
Mr.
पास.
Nelligan, what exactly were you
कर ली
hoping to
मैंने.
find inside Peter Carey's cabin?
I was trying to find some information about my father.
Bond certificate rings. Just check it.
I assume you had another purpose, to retrieve the bond certificates. Am I correct?
Yes. I discovered some time ago that a few of the missing securities had reappeared on the London market. You can imagine my amazement. I spent months trying to find them, and at last I discovered that the original seller had been Captain Peter Carey. These papers, they belonged to my family, but I could not find them there.
That's all for now. Well,
Okay.
I will see you soon, young man.
Investigate suspect. And that's it. कल देखता हूँ कल डाउनलोड कर लूँगा probably. You won ₹15 on bill payments. ठीक है भाई. 10 रुपए Paytm. You won first coins. It's okay. Money transfer directly from bank accounts to get a scratch card. अभी तो किया भाई अभी तो. मुझे 7 पे 700 दूंगा का है शुद्ध होगा. आर्टिफिशियल हुआ है वो.
A new suspect.
आ गया
But this
गया.
one refuses to talk.
क्या
This
आ गया?
case is more interesting.
क्या आ गया? बताओ तो क्या आ गया? I think मेरे को उधर जाने का है. धुआं. अच्छा धुआं आ गया. ठीक है भाई. Missing papers. यहाँ से भी 2 पार्ट्स में बटेगी। रुको एक मिनट। हेलो। The break-in attempts were made in order to recover the notebook that had been lying in a pool of the victim's blood. This proves the guilt of the person who made these attempts. Nelligan was looking for his father's paper inside black paper. It explains his presence at the scene of the murder. नहीं यही होगा। John Nelligan's motive. John Nelligan could have been caught stealing the bond certificate. This might have been a motive for him to murder Peter Carey. Nelligan's innocent. John Nelligan is victim of something. He does not fit the portrait of a murderer either by physical or psychological description. Yeah. What the heck? This might have been a motive for John Nelligan could have been caught stealing. भाई नहीं रहे, मैंने यहाँ क्या चूज़ किया था? Breaking in order. This proves the guilt of the person who made. मतलब कहीं ना कहीं तो वो चूज़ करना ही है नहीं? Nelligan is guilty. John Hopley Nelligan murdered. This is proven by the dishonesty and the fact that he was at the scene of the murder. क्या है? Hello. नहीं 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 भाई मैं नहीं मानता भाई। नेलिगन नहीं है रे, नेलिगन नहीं है भाई। चेंज कंक्लूजन। भाई मैं नहीं मानता, अभी देखो ये मैं नहीं मानता, बहुत ज़्यादा स्लो है गेम। हाँ तो है, क्या करें। ऐसा कुछ ये मोहतरमा हमें बता दे कि हमारा कुछ
Locked.
मोहतरमा, मैं आपसे कुछ बात करनी है।
Does the name Liam Hurtley mean anything to you?
No, I don't know anyone by that name.
You have indeed.
Yes.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know?
कॉलेज में क्या चल रहा है? प्रोजेक्ट वगैरह दिया? नहीं। Outline in the dust. Select the correct answer. ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है, select कर रहा हूँ।
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. No, he was different, wasn't he, when you first
पता नहीं
met
रे
him
यार,
upon
मैं
your
एक्चुअल में
return
ऑनलाइन
from
क्लासेस
Plymouth?
लेता ही नहीं भाई। ऑनलाइन क्लासेस में इतना भाई पता है क्या चूतिया हुआ करते हैं, पीडीएफ में से देख देख के पढ़ाते हैं, हमें कहते हैं पीडीएफ शेयर कर देंगे, हमें कहते हैं नोट्स लिखो तुम।
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Thank you, madam.
मैडम आप डोर की चाबी दोगे? टीचर चोदू है सभी जगह के भाई, कसम से भाई, क्या ही बताऊं, वो तो है ही है। मैं आपकी बात से सहमत हूँ। लिम हर्टले व्हाट इज ट्राइंग टू हाइड। इसको ये लिम हर्टले वाला अभी भाई, लिम हर्टले वाला कुछ करना पड़ेगा। लिम हर्टले का देखते हैं हम, कुछ तो देखते हैं।
A new suspect. But this one refuses to talk. This case is more interesting than I first imagined.
Shoot this fella. भाई यार ये लोग क्या खेल रहे हैं सर।
This is where I keep my post.
हाँ कवर मेरी पोस्ट का। भाई लिटरली मैं स्किल अनट्रेन मैन नहीं, ये तो मैं कंफर्म हूँ कि ये तो और किसी ट्रेन आदमी नहीं। पॉसिबल मेरे को क्लू ढूंढने और क्लू ढूंढने भाई, मेरे को क्लू ढूंढने, मेरे को क्लू ढूंढने, मेरे को फिर देखो ऐसे दो ही चीजें मैंने कर ली।
These are the suspect's belongings. These abbreviations mean something, but what?
वो तो हो गया ना।
I'm not saying another.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
भाई क्या चुके भाई, कहाँ जाऊँ फिर, क्या करूँ मैं?
Mr. Holmes?
हेलो दादा। भाई अब क्या करना है ये बता दो तुम मुझसे। यार ये लियाम हर्टली वाला है, ये ट्राइंग टू हाइड। कुछ तो देखना पड़ेगा लाइक Mad है ना?
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
तूने तो नहीं मार दिया आंटी? आंटी ने ही पेल दिया कहीं।
The sea unicorn. She was...
माइन तो कर तो लिया मैंने।
Dundee. Hammerfest. Hammerfest. Dundee.
एक कनेक्शन का इनका है मैं फर्स्ट डांडी का। कनेक्शन ही नहीं है तो क्या बकचोदी। भाई क्या बकचोदी है भाई मकसूद। एक केस में 4 दिन लग गए भाई। इस गेम में टोटल 6 केस हैं, कितने हैं पता नहीं।
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could
इस
be
गेम में
useful.
इसका पार्टनर नहीं दिखाया। अरे इस गेम में है ही नहीं इसका पार्टनर। इस गेम में नहीं है यार। मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा। बताओ एक चीज़ बताओ तुम। ये जो है ये टेलीस्कोप है। ये उस मोटी को देखने के लिए दिया है बस, और कोई काम नहीं
A
है।
new suspect, but this one refuses to talk. This case...
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
कवर ऐसा कोई भाई। अब क्या करूं? मेरे को लिटरली मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा है मेरे को। At least whoever saw the police individual see prowling around the night or learned that he is a former soldier, left the military with an honorable discharge after having been wounded in the neck by a lives a quiet life working as a gardener. यार गार्डनर का कुछ तो है पता है, कुछ तो है गार्डनर का। नो गार्डनर कुछ तो है लिटरली रे, कुछ तो है। ये कंक्लूजन्स का क्या सीन है? भाई मैं ये कंक्लूजन तो हो ही नहीं सकता, ये मेरे को तो नहीं लग रहा भाई। एक कंक्लूजन बना रहा ऐसा कि इसका देखो, एक कंक्लूजन ये बना है, ठीक है। John Hopland Elegant has been found guilty of the murder. He must be punished by the law of the. Is a victim of his childhood. Was he always dreamed of the reunion to find out where he made a poor decision. Fell into the tree. Continue the investigation.
A new suspect, but this one refuses to talk. This case is more interesting than I first imagined.
अच्छा एक मिनट अब ठीक है, ये कंक्लूजन हो गया मेरा। स्कॉटलैंड यार्ड चलो। साला क्या से क्या हो गया, मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा भाई। ये एक कंक्लूजन है, वो लकी थ्रो है। मेरे को लगता नहीं है भाई, आज पुरानी पबजी इंस्टा पे वीडियो देखी अपनी। अरे 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 भाई,
What am I doing here?
I'm not saying another...
भाई यार क्या बकचोदी थी। Confirm your moral choice? No. John Hopland Elegant has been found guilty of the murder. He must be punished by the law for his desperate crime. He made a poor decision. यार मेरे को लिटरली भाई मेरे को वो लग रहा है भाई। भाई मैं ये पहले वाले जो हैं उनका क्या करूं? मैंने गलत कर दिया। अब मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा कि वो मैं जो सस्पेक्ट्स ये जो मेरे को मिले हुए हैं उनको चेंज भी कैसे करूं मैं। यार बेटी चूत। भाई इसका एक ही कंक्लूजन निकल रहा है। देखो मैं कर रहा हूँ वो माँ की
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
It was John Nelligan, Inspector.
I thought as much, but I failed to see his motive.
Revenge, Inspector. Black Peter possessed...
Well then.
I will accompany you, Inspector.
एक मिनट रुक जाओ यार, इसका तो मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा।
John Nelligan, it was you who killed Black Peter. You attempted to convince him to return the bond certificates, and you threatened to call the police. Peter Carey was drunk. He drew his knife. In panic, you took the harpoon and made your lucky throw in self-defense. Put that in your report, Lestrade.
No, I didn't kill anyone. You have it all wrong.
You better thank Mr. Holmes for saving your neck, Nelligan.
The case is resolved, Inspector. I shall return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
Hold to check your conclusion may spoil game experience. Clue found 16 में से 11 clue. To replay the conclusion, the game will load before the moral choice. भाई 16 वो चाहिए मेरे को, 16 क्लू चाहिए, 11 भाई, 11 क्लू मिले भाई।
I'm not saying another word.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing.
ये क्या बकवास है भाई?
How is the investigation going, Mr. Holmes? Do you have any idea who the murderer is yet?
These are the suspect's belongings. A pen, nothing unusual about it.
छोड़ो, इसमें तो कुछ नहीं है।
These are the suspect's
इसमें मेरे को जो
belongings.
मिला था,
A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin. A handkerchief with the initials JHN. These abbreviations mean something, but what?
भाई 3 ही तो जगह हैं, ठीक है। तीन ही जगह हैं, ठीक है। बेकर स्ट्रीट, मेरे को और क्लूज चाहिए भाई। 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 7 और 3 10 और 11। भाई ये क्लू कहाँ मिलेंगे भाई?
These boots match the footprints exactly.
अच्छा, लो भाई एक और क्लू। अब जाके मिला है मेरे को क्लू।
Locked.
मोहतरमा, हमका चाबी चाहिए मोहतरमा। यार
Who could
मोहतरमा,
do such a thing?
अरे मोहतरमा चाबी दे दो ना
husband.
मोहतरमा. Unexplained presence. अब मैं वहाँ जा सकता हूँ प्रोबेबली. मैं वहाँ जाके उससे पूछ सकता हूँ. मिनट रुको.
Who could do such a thing?
अरे यार.
My poor husband.
मिनटे आपके पूरे हस्बैंड. क्या करें हम आपके पूरे हस्बैंड.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
बेकर स्ट्रीट नहीं, यहाँ जाना है. अब उसकी जैंड फटेगी, कुछ तो बताएगा.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what were you doing at Woodman's Lee?
Woodman's Lee? I've never been there.
At least boot match.
The second pair of boots that you had with you when you were arrested perfectly match the footprints found near the cabin where Peter Carey was murdered.
Footprints? That's your proof? How many men have boots like mine? That doesn't make me a murderer.
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven, would you care to explain it?
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
God no. Hey, sorry, my bad.
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven,
मैं
would you
चलता
care
हूँ.
to explain it?
बुलावा है.
I
गुड
don't
नाइट भाई.
remember.
हाँ चलो, गुड नाइट. गुड
What would I
नाइट.
be doing there anyway?
चोबाकू पाउच. हाथलेस बूट मैच. अरे अरे अरे, अभी तो क्या था यार, मैं हक दिया. सॉरी. चलो सर, गुड नाइट, बाय बाय. सो
Now
जाओ,
that your
मजे करो.
presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven, would you care to explain it?
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
Because you are the gardener at Woodman's Lee.
I'm not. How did you...
I observed your hands. They told me that you work with the earth. Small fragments of plants snagged to your trousers indicate that you were mowing very recently. But the most obvious clue presented itself in the bird embroidered on your handkerchief. A crested tit, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, you got me. Yes, I am a gardener, and I went there to get my tools.
ये भाई.
That's all for now. Hurtley's stories are false leads. But now I know one thing for certain. I must examine the site where the garden tools are kept at Woodman's Lee.
वुडमैन्स ली जाना है ना. मैंने वुडमैन्स ली जाएंगे, आंटी से बात करेंगे. यू Oh, Anchi.
Madam, we have information that the valuable stolen papers are hidden amongst the garden tools here at Woodman's
We need to
Lee.
find them.
We need to find them.
Oh my. Our tools are kept inside the shed that's right behind me. Here is the key to open it.
Thank you, madam.
Hello.
Let's see what could be hidden here.
Hello. Sheds, floor, wooden planks. ये भी ठीक है. देख रहे हो तुम?
Let us see what is in this box.
Rotate the lock cylinder. Complete a line. Please note that some lines have this. Rotate it all. हाँ ये देख रहे हो
A bundle of letters in a woman's hand with the Carey family monogram. Hurtley and Mrs. Carey were in a relationship. That is interesting.
My God. He makes me. I thank you from care, but I cannot leave the man with whom I have been bound by God's design will. He makes my life a living hell, but dresses fade, and you must not worry for me. Lime Hartley's letter content is just heard. ये भी सही है. So, क्या कहना चाहेंगी आप मोहतरमा? जरा बताइए हमें.
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hurtley.
What are you talking about?
Pilgrimage. No, sorry. Select the correct answer.
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hurtley.
What are you talking about?
Mrs. Carey, we found your letters.
My letters?
I asked Liam to
return
return
them to me. I wanted to burn them.
Why did Mr. Hurtley put them inside the garden shed?
I don't know. I wanted them back, but I couldn't see him, not after what happened.
Well, here they are.
Oh, this is terrible. terrible. Liam, how could he? After what he has done.
You believe that he killed your husband?
No, I do not know. I do not know. Leave me alone, please.
Thank you, madam. I wonder if Wiggins has managed to find any sailors.
Acres Street पे चल लो.
Mr. Holmes, we found the sailors from that list you gave us.
Well done, Wiggins. Let me see.
Goods patents.
This is interesting. Let us review the other sailors now.
On your cook sail. Just sailor.
This is interesting. This is interesting. Let us review the other sailors now. This man is a harpooner, and his initials are PC, the same initials that were found on the tobacco pouch. Wiggins, could you gather some information on one of the sailors that you found? His name is Patrick Cairns.
Sometime later, okay.
We found Patrick Cairns.
Good job, Wiggins. Where is he?
He lives in a small furnished dump of a room, but he's always at the Sea Witch pub, where he does arm wrestles for money and drinks.
Excellent. Here is your reward. 2 guineas.
Thank you, sir.
ठीक है भाई. Judith Carey's confession. Patrick Cranes. It's now been confirmed that the Lamb Hartley was flirting with the better by an fan in love, but it didn't go beyond the fashionates. The spirit Lamb Hartley loved Judith so desperately that his jealousy could capable of her. Lamb Hartley with Judas gives a motive for killing Peter. Hartley's presence on the night of the murder is explained by the fact that he worked there as a gardener. If the pouch belongs to Patrick, it indicates his presence at the crime scene, but it must still be proven.
If I wish to speak to Cairns without alarming him, I had better dress as a sailor. Now I can approach Cairns and see if he recognizes the pouch.
see which pub. ये ठीक है. भाई ये मिशन करके मैं जा रहा हूँ भाई. एक मिशन.
Hello there. Are you Cairns?
What do you want?
We've heard all about the gambling on arm wrestling here. You seem like the likely sort, and I'm up for it.
I start at 10 shillings.
Suits me.
तेरी माँ की आँख छूती है. मैं तेरे को हरा के मानेगा तो रुकना. खुद की मेहनत से रहा हूँ भाई. The fuck are you? Rest, push or hold. Check.
You were lucky. I wasn't focused. Let's go again.
I'm ready to try again.
Fine. If you want me to take all your money, no problem with that. Well, good for you, I reckon. You're stronger than you look. Here's your 10 shillings.
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Good winner as well. That's good. Let's have a drink. You're a good type. Seems you've managed to settle down in life. You've got money, eh?
Not all that much.
Oh, well. At least you're not as poor as me.
Why do you say poor? You're not working?
I'm a harpooner. But you see, the whalers are rare. They don't pay much. So, as a result, find myself arm wrestling to pay for my drink.
A
harpooner. Interesting. You've had a lot of adventures, I bet.
Of course. It's been a dozen years since I've sailed. I've seen everything. Old Wallace, damn Black Peter, Great Roger. We sailed to the Cape of Good Hope.
Black Peter, you say? I've heard rumors about that one.
He was the worst of them all. He was a liar, and violent too. Swinging those fists of his around. He was a tyrant, and not much of a captain. At least, not as good as Great Roger.
I see. Yes. I was told terrible tales about Black Peter.
But you ain't heard the worst.
Tell me, and let's have another drink.
It was in 1883 that it happened. The August of that year. Peter Carey was captain of the Sea Unicorn.
And I
was
was
a spare harpooner. We were coming out of the ice pack on our way home. One evening, we saw a little craft that had been blown north. There was only one man on her, and he wasn't a sailor. The crew must have thought that she'd foundered, and they made for the Norwegian coast in the dinghy. I guess they all drowned. We took the man on board.
And who was he?
I dunno. During the crossing, he and the skipper enjoyed some long talks. His baggage was just a tin box.
That's strange enough.
Aye. Even stranger was that on the second night, he disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him. And of course, nobody could ask Black Peter about it.
You know what happened, don't you?
I do. I saw the skipper tie his heels and push him over the rail in the middle of my watch on that dark night. 2 days before we sighted the Shetland lights.
Black Peter's a murderer.
Aye. Those that know him wouldn't be surprised to hear it. But all this must stay between us. All right?
Of course. Back in a second. I'm off to the Kazi.
I'll be here with my drink.
Here it is. Have you got any tobacco? I've run out of mine.
Nah, I lost my pouch. I don't know where. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, is this your tobacco pouch?
Well, oh, it is.
Well, I have to go now. I know
I
a
know
captain was planning an expedition to Cape Cod. Captain Ahab's his name. He commanded the Pequod. He might need good harpooners. I'll tell him about you.
Maybe. If you like, aye.
इसका
I'm
डायलॉग
done
लगता
here.
है.
It's time to leave.
Care to lose another 10 shillings?
Investigate the murder. देखते हैं. Now let's see. pouch proven visit has confirmed that the pouch belongs to him. This means that he was at the scene of the murder, but does not necessarily prove that he is the murderer. Jens has confirmed the pouch belongs to. This means that he was at the scene of the and thus owns his property. अभी तक तो एक ही कंक्लूजन निकलता है बस लेट्स सी
I'm not saying another word.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing.
भाई जब यहाँ में कुछ करना ही मिनट यहाँ चल के भी देख लो Peter Carey was murdered in Keynes. Keynes is the professional harpooner. His tobacco pouch was found at the carrier's cabin. Cold-blooded murder is been beyond real. The other Peter and must be punished. Killed Peter, but the murder was not premeditated. It was in self-defense against an armed and irrational drunk sailor. क्या है यूज नहीं कर सकते भैया हम कुछ है क्या कुछ रह गया क्या आंटी से बात करता हूँ रो रही है क्या बेबी
Leave me alone, please. Leave me alone, please.
तेरी माँ का भरोसा
You met Patrick Cairns, the harpooner. Do you believe he's the murderer?
वहीं से वही दिखेगी फिर से कोई मतलब है नहीं.
'Cause 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 'c
मेरे को तो वही लग रहा है भाई देखो
The case is solved.
So
It was Liam Hurtley.
that doesn't surprise me. I've never seen a guiltier looking fella.
He was
I
Liam Hurtley. It was you who killed Black Peter. He learned of your relationship with his wife, and he asked that you meet him to share in a drink. Then began the quarrel. He drew his knife, and in self-defense, you took up the harpoon. Lestrade, please put that in your report.
I deny everything. You have no proof.
calm down and thank your stars that Mr. Holmes just saved your neck.
The case is resolved, Inspector.
But
Hartley is guilty. Ending. नहीं हार्टली गिल्टी नहीं है फिर कौन है देखते हैं ना
Good afternoon. I must be at the wrong address. I'd like to speak with a ship's captain, a Captain Ahab. Is that you?
No, my name is Sherlock Holmes.
That detective fella? So,
That is correct.
about what?
About Black Peter, who was killed in his own hut with a harpoon.
You know, don't ya?
Yes,
How?
the tobacco pouch.
The sailor. It was you. Unbelievable. Well, fine. I confess. But if you really do know everything, you should also know that I didn't want to kill him. He made me do it.
I know. Did you know about this story with the bond certificates? Did you need money?
Yeah. I just wanted him to cough up a little silver. I'm out of work, and I thought maybe he could help me. Well, he refused outright, and he insulted me. I reminded him I knew all about that murder he committed at sea in 1883. Then he got mad when I spoke about his treasure. I barely just had time to throw the harpoon at him before he could jump at me with his knife. You know the truth. What will you do now?
I ask that you return the bond certificates. Keep some of them. You will need them in your exile. It is better that you leave the country for a few years.
And you won't say anything to the police?
I will not say anything as long as you return the money.
Well, I'll do as you ask. But what about Inspector Lestrade?
I will deal with him. Goodbye.
ऐसा भी है
it's good that you asked me to come, Mr. Holmes. We do need to talk.
About what?
What do you mean? Our case, Mr. Holmes. You sent me a message via your little thug,
His name is Wiggins, Inspector.
telling me that the case is solved. Well, Mr. Holmes, tell me, who is our murderer and where is he?
The morgue.
Eh?
His name is, or rather was, Pablo Coventral. He was also on the ship with Peter Carey, and he was a harpooner. I'll tell you everything, Inspector, but do calm down. Mrs. Hudson will bring us tea and orange cake.
Orange cake? You're spoiling me, Mr. Holmes. That's my favourite.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Inspector Lestrade told me that I should thank you for clearing my name. He also said that you were waiting for me here. I came as fast as I could. I cannot thank you enough. It is all because of you that this nightmare is finally over.
I believe that this belongs to you.
My father's securities. Incredible! But how did you get them?
It would take far too long to explain.
Tell me, this is extraordinary. You are a genius.
Then that may serve as an explanation. Goodbye, Mr. Nelligan, and good luck.
Goodbye, Mr. Holmes. And thank you. 1,000 times thank you.
ओ भाई मारो फेट ऑफ ब्लैक जो भी था हो गया भाई हो गया आज का हो गया सो गाइस बाय बाय आई एम गोइंग बाय गाइस टेक केयर सी यू टुमारो मिलते हैं आप लोगों से कल तब तक के लिए हैव अ गुड टाइम विथ योर फ्रेंड्स एंड फैमिली वी विल सी यू गाइस टुमारो हैव अ गुड टाइम बाय बाय गाइस गुड नाइट
This trip to the countryside will be good for you, Holmes. As your friend, fresh air, brisk walks, bird watching, chopping wood.
Sounds intolerable.
एक मिनट रुक
I
जाओ
mean,
क्या वक्त चली है
certainly.
But you haven't
He is a bee lover.
a bee lover. That must be...
I have no time. Send whoever it is away.
Yes, Holmes, I really think we ought to leave now.
Mycroft.
Sherlock.
We're about to depart for the train. You know?
Need.
Sherlock, do please think about it. They are planning something diabolical. Your country needs you.
You need me, Mycroft, and you are not the country. Although if your waistline expands very much further.
Mrs. Hudson, tea will not be necessary.
चलो गाइस मिलते हैं कल तब तक के लिए बाय बाय गुड नाइट हैव इट गुड टाइम बाय बाय पीस आउट स्टे होम स्टे सेफ बाय बाय गुड नाइट